Hello, and welcome to my gaming experience. I'm Sword Rush, and surprise, surprise, still playing Pokemon Go. I don't know why, but it has something to do with exercising or something. But one of the really enjoyable things about this game, actually, is doing these raids solo. And these are all level 3 raids. I don't have every combination of them, but I have beaten all of them that you can beat right now. So Vaporeon is one that doesn't exist anymore as a level 3 raid, but Scyther, Porygon, Machamp, Omastar, Gengar, what is it? Alakazam, and Ninetales are all level 3 raids, and I've beaten all of them by myself, which is a pretty interesting feat to be able to accomplish. Mostly because it takes a lot of preparation, it takes a lot of strategy, knowing type advantages and knowing when to time your attacks, because sometimes slightly holding off and dodging instead can mean a world of difference, or attacking and not dodging can also mean a whole lot. So in the one of these, so let's see, Scyther, if we begin with that, Scyther is actually the easiest, I think, because its weakness is it's doubly weak to rock, which makes it really, really easy to just get a bunch of golems with double rock moves and just smash through. You don't even really have to dodge if you don't want to, because he'll go down pretty quickly. Then the next one is Porygon. Porygon is actually pretty easy as well, because Porygon's weak to fighting, and you just have to have a decent number of good fighting Pokemon, and you'll take him out relatively easily. Machamp is where it starts to get a little bit harder. Machamp can deal a lot of damage. Now, generally speaking, you can just kind of spam a bunch of psychic attacks and do it. But I actually did that. That particular recording for Machamp is actually the second time that I did that recording, because the first time I tried to battle it, the gym glitched a little bit, and I wasn't able to beat it, and I used almost the exact same Pokemon that I'm using right now, with a bunch of Espeons and Alakazam. The one that I changed was actually Gardevoir, because I have a really powered up Gardevoir. It's like 98% IVs and has the right moves to fight against Machamp, and also with the fairy typing allows it a little bit extra protection against it. But the second time around, it ended up beating it. Omastar is really where a lot of the stuff that you learn has to come to play, because you really want to hit as many of the solar beams as you can, or else you might actually lose the battle because of timing. Omastar has a decent amount of health, and you really have to take advantage of the double grass moves, or the double grass weakness, to be able to win. So I just got done with Porygon. He's about to fall out, and I think Gengar, yeah, Gengar is coming up in his spot. Machamp is about to fall out, and that is Alakazam. And on the far left, we have Ninetales. So you can tell. Now, mind you, I didn't manipulate these recordings at all. So the time, how quickly those numbers degenerate on the timer and such, there's no manipulation there. It's running out at different speeds. So you really, the gym system and these raids are still very finicky, and you really have to get some of these things just perfect to be able to make it work. So Gengar is a little bit harder, because while Gengar has a lot of natural weaknesses and has very low HP and defense, the problem is that it doesn't matter a lot of times. Gengar is just so powerful that he'll wipe out your team really quickly. And the very first time, so this is actually the second time that I've soloed a Gengar raid. The first time was with Shadow Ball, and I had to go in with the second team because my Pokemon were dying so quickly. It was crazy. Now, with Alakazam, this Focus Blast one is... So the Alakazam on the right, Focus Blast is the hardest Alakazam to face, because Focus Blast kills his natural enemy, which is Tyranitar, and Tyranitar can deal tons of damage on his own, frankly, pretty much without dodging at all. But Alakazam, it's with Focus Blast means that, I mean, Tyranitar is double weak to fighting, so Focus Blast deals double super effective damage against it. So you have to use other Pokemon, and it pretty much requires powering up Gengars and getting the. I mean, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I have multiple. I have like 5 different Gengars with a legacy move known as Shadow Claw, and Shadow Claw is really really strong. But if you don't have that, Scissor is the next way to go. Really, he's still kind of weak to the Focus Blast attack, but he Scyther or Sizer actually deals tons of damage. I am always pleased to see this guy because his Fury Cutter attack is super effective, but it also charges really, really quickly. Charges the charge move really, really quickly, and X Scissor deals a decent amount of damage for being a bug type move, and so you just really destroy the Alakazam with it because you can move so quickly and you can do constant charge attacks. So if you're paying attention, you can just see how many charge attacks I'm doing compared to any of the other Pokemon. So Gengar's coming up though. Let's talk about Ninetales a little bit. Ninetales is actually the hardest level 3 raid to date because Ninetales, at least prior, I'm able to do this battle with Ninetales because I have uh, sorry, Gyarados with double water moves, and that was a recent change, a mostly recent change anyway, allowing Ninetales to be able to be soloed. And this particular Ninetales is even harder because it also has Solar Beam as its charge move, so it's dealing super effective damage to anything that isn't Gyarados, basically, which is a big problem. But I still managed to beat it in this, so you can see I'm dodging so that I can hopefully get off more Hydro Pumps. That's really the only way to be able to beat this. And you can also tell from the timers, it's kind of getting down to the wire. I'm about to get done with Alakazam. He's going to Focus Blast that Tyranitar to death, and then I'll just have to basically go as quickly as I can to kill that Alakazam. Ninetales got a lot easier though with Kyogre, but I barely used Kyogre in this battle. This is almost entirely Ninetales, and you can see this is how close it is. It's not so much about being able to deal damage, it's about the time. You just don't have a lot of time, and this is where these raids get so exciting because you're like, oh my god, I only have like 4 seconds left of 3, and oh my gosh, can I actually do it? And somehow this one I didn't get glitched out, which is amazing. It allowed me to beat it. But really, the most important raid, the only raid that anybody cares about anymore, the only raid that anybody wants is this raid, this last raid. This one, I finally got an invitation to. I finally was able to participate in one. And that is Mewtwo. Oh, I already have my Mewtwo powered up to like 3566 or something like that. And this battle, these Mewtwo battles are actually not that bad. If you have enough players, I think, let's see. Yeah, we have there's like 7 people in this raid. So this isn't too bad. I think I still had to go in with a second team, but that's not my concern. I mean, time is still relevant in this one, but as long as a lot of people are still dealing lots of damage, then there's nothing to really worry about. You don't even really have to have great counters to Mewtwo, especially in this, because I think this group was all the same team as me, so I was going to get a lot of the damage balls anyway, but I wanted to try to guarantee as many as I could, so I went ahead and went with Tyranitars and Gengars and stuff like that, stuff that would be super effective against Mewtwo, because I really wanted to be able to get a good chance at getting Mewtwo. With Mewtwo stats being so high compared to virtually any other Pokemon, it's really vital. I mean, you can still play the game without Mewtwo, but Mewtwo is really my favorite Pokemon out of any other Pokemon. I really like his look. I like the kind of story that comes up behind him about being a clone of Mew and all of that sort of stuff. I find that to be sort of fascinating in a way. So I really enjoy him as a Pokemon. And it does help, of course, that he's also the most powerful Pokemon in the game. Well, at least his Mega Evolution is, although I've never actually seen his Mega Evolution. So, because I haven't actually played the game with Mega Evolutions, like the main series game, so I have no idea about that. But yeah, I'm so glad that I was able to get the chance to get this pass because I haven't necessarily been trying really hard to get the pass, and we just happened to do a Groudon raid one time, and I got a pass, but there were people there that didn't get a pass even though they did the raid. So uh, I think everyone's kind of come to the like a consensus that X raids are just the worst idea ever. Some people really liked the idea in that they didn't want everybody to be able to get a Mew. There's some people who are just like, well, Mewtwo should be a rare Pokemon and nobody should be able to get one. Or not everyone should be able to get one. But honestly, does that really matter? I mean, everybody should get a chance to get every Pokemon in the game. I mean, like, yeah, maybe some people before some other people, but in the in the sense that not everyone should like just be given a present and they just open it and get a Mewtwo kind of thing, but that people should have to work for it and try to get it to be able to do it, or you know, just there's so many iconic Pokemon in here that limiting people that way is really frustrating, and I find that to be a poor way to create rarity, and I don't really think that rarity has any real place in this game either. So at least in many different ways, it has no place. So I'm happy that I was able to get a chance because I really I mean like at this point I'm level 38 I think, and I'm level 39 now, so I've done a whole lot. I mean I've walked nearly like 3,000 kilometers and such, but none of that, unfortunately, with the X-ray passes, none of that even matters at all. You know, nobody, the game doesn't care how much you've walked or how much effort you put into the game. It's whether you're lucky enough or not, and that's extra frustrating with this, especially because then it's are you lucky enough to get a pass, and then are you lucky enough that enough people got passes and showed up on the right day and time to be able to get it, and are you lucky enough that in this case, I managed to somehow catch Mewtwo in the first throw, but maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I miss all my throws and don't catch Mewtwo. So it's too much luck. I hope they make changes to it, improve it. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. There won't be many more Pokemon videos, so let me know what you think, and I'll see you again next time.